Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News with me, Katira King. Now, my first guest, Isio Wanogho, is a Nigerian supermodel, entrepreneur, column writer, painter, and now interior architect. Having enjoyed a lucrative 17-year career evolution from design to high fashion modeling to TV presenting and now back to design, she successfully founded two Nigerian businesses, the Hokalani Foods Company and the Isio de la Vega Design Studio, which currently employs over 150 staff, venture partners and contractors combined all over Nigeria. In 3 short years, IDDS has designed over 70 commercial and residential spaces within the country. As if that wasn't enough Monday morning motivation for you, as an artist, she's exhibited her paintings in Italy, Nigeria, and New York. 14 of her 17-year career was spent in the Nigerian entertainment industry, where she was the face of denim brand Diesel in Nigeria and received multiple awards as a model, humanitarian, and she was named the Youth Ambassador for Global Unity, Peace and Development by the Global Foundation. Good morning, Isio. How are you?
I'm very well, Katira.
Oh my goodness, it's so exciting to be joined by someone who's done so much. You put me to shame. Well, first, let's start with the fact that you're gorgeous.
Thank you, thank you so much. I started really young, so when I tell people what I've done, it seems like it's a lot. But I had the opportunity of starting when I was 17. And I always had a very clear focus of where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. So I was very deliberate with my choices.
Right.
You know, everything from how I ate, the kinds of schools I went to, just everything I absorbed since I was like 10 has been very deliberate towards that goal. So when I started at 17, now at, you know,
a lady never reveals her age.
It seems like it's a lot, but I've had quite a bit of time.
So what did you think that you were actually going to be when you were growing up?
I always knew I was going to be an artist. That had always been my strongest expression, creating. And of course, I come from a family where my father was like, oh, you know, you have to be a doctor, or what about an engineer? And I'm like, no, I'm going to be an artist. And he's like, artists are poor. You know, he was just like, I don't want to struggle through life doing something that I have to work really hard to be good at. So I wanted to do something I was good at, and I just believed everything will fall into place.
So you would say that visual art is your first love?
Any kind of creative expression.
Right.
Visual art, literary art, painting is definitely my first love.
So we can see some pictures from your Diesel campaign on screen now. These are from your supermodel heyday. Talk to me about how exciting it was to be picked as the face of Diesel Nigeria.
You know, this is the thing. When it happened, I wasn't expecting it. I'd gone to an event and then I met the brand representative here in Nigeria. And it's like, oh, you know, I have something I think you'd be good for. I'm like, okay. And then he gave me the offer, and I was really happy. Oh, and then the shoot, and it came out, and then there was a buzz online.
Oh my goodness!
It was really nice. I know. I didn't see it coming, but I embraced it 100%.
Wow. Awesome. So, at what point did you say to yourself, I'm a successful supermodel and I'm doing so well in my career, I'm making all this money, my face is everywhere, but now I'm choosing to go behind the scenes and to go back and redevelop myself and become an interior architect?
Well, you have to understand, Katira, like I said in the beginning, I've been very deliberate about my choices. So being a model was something I wanted to do since I was 6, but I never intended to die as a model. You know, I wanted to get in there, do the best, however long it took, and then move on to something else within the same, you know, creative expression. And after 2007, I started TV presenting, and I really liked how that went. You know, all of a sudden I'm talking, and you know, there's money in modeling, and then there's also, you know, good pay in TV presenting. And then that went on for a while, and I'm like, okay, you know what, I want to go study more. And then I left the country, went to get my master's in interior design and architecture. And when I was there, my friends were like, oh, you know, I'm going to come back to Nigeria and get a job. I'm doing my own thing. Like,
I'm good, thank you, guys.
They're like, oh, it's so hard to break it. I'm like, I'm going to be fine. I don't know how, but I would just do my own thing.
Wow.
And it was just really deliberate for me.
So let's go back to your modeling days, because we have a few of your photos from your these are some of the photos from your modeling days in Florence, Italy.
Yes.
Now, talk me through the early days of your career. What would you say you love the most about modeling? What is it that woke you up in the morning, your passion, your drive?
When I try to explain, when you're on stage as a fashion model, because I was primarily a fashion model. Of course, I did editorials and I did commercial modeling and I did the spokes modeling. But as a fashion model, there's, you know, the moment you're on stage, walking that walk, it's not something you can really explain.
Oh, wow.
All the lights in the world are on your face and there might be 10,000 eyes watching you, but nothing matters more than the movement. And it's very precise. And when there's the music, it's just...
I feel so excited.
It's difficult to explain, you know. Your heart is pounding and, you know, the movement and one leg goes, and the music, it's like you become one with the clothes and the movement, and that was very nice for me. Of course, photography, I liked the opportunity to be able to transform. I would go to a shoot and then the photographer would be like, I thought she was light. I thought she was light-skinned, because sometimes I photograph way lighter than I actually am.
Okay.
And you just look different, and it's just I can't. It's nice. It was awesome. I loved modeling so much.
Wow, you sound as though you were very passionate about it.
I did, because I did it for the love, not for the money. Of course, when I'm like, okay, that's money, that's good. But I did it for the love, and it's. Oh, God.
It's been a whirlwind.
Yes, more than 10 years.
You know what's
modeling.
interesting for me to notice, because we're focusing on entrepreneurship today and, you know, business building.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to note that even as a supermodel, you were your own boss, because you decided what jobs you were taking, what jobs you weren't taking, and booking jobs yourself.
Exactly.
So talk to me about the entrepreneurship values that have been instilled in you.
Well, the very first thing is to know your limits. Because not one singular human being is good at everything.
Right.
And if you're in a creative industry, and just the second thing, if you're in a creative industry, it's very easy for you to belittle the value of your time and your work, because you're doing it for the love. But if you're running a business, it's a business, not an NGO. So you have to learn how to manage your business accordingly. Now, this is a problem lots of artists have, because they just want to work for the love, for the love, for the love. And that's good. It's very commendable, but you're not an NGO. If you want to be an NGO, then be an NGO. But if you want to be a business, then be a business. So I learned about that. I learned about, quickly when I started design, I learned about partnerships. You can't do it alone. No matter how good you are, you need key partners, especially. I started my business from 0 naira, and I was able to build it into something. Actually, I started both from 0 naira. Wow. The second story is just really funny.
My goodness.
And you need key partnerships, and then how do you do that? And I learned to value the things people don't value here. People don't really value time. People don't value this. And then I learned to value that, and then I learned to give value for something. Because here it's like, if you don't have something material to give me, then it's not worth anything. But just the time you spend investing in something, you know, you help people do something, and then people, oh, okay, that girl's just kind of good. And in the beginning, it wasn't about making money. It was just about, I had nothing. I had my dreams and my ideas, but I would design for free for a while, and then, you know, get my work out there until people started recommending, and I started making money from design.
Wow. So let's talk now about Isio de la Vega Design Studio.
Yeah.
When did you realize that you could make money becoming an interior architect? And why did you even choose to start your brand? You
know, the thing, when I was a TV presenter, and I remember my boss at the time was like, Isio, you should choose a name. I'm like, yeah, Isio. He's like, yeah, you can't just do that, choose something else. I'm like, I don't want to use my father's name, because when I eventually get married, I don't want to have the discussion, or why are you using your father's name, blah, blah, blah. I want a name that's mine. So I chose the Isio de la Vega name. And I made all of my businesses have that name, because, you know, I can love you, but it's mine. You know, I just didn't want that. And then I did diploma in fashion design. I wanted to, you know, I did a bit of fashion, and then I hired my teacher to make me dress, and it was the worst. It was really bad. I'm like, I've done fashion. Like, no, there's no hope if my teacher can't do better than this. And like I said, I was very deliberate about my choices, and then I'm like, I want to do buildings and architecture and design.
So we can see some of them on screen now.
Yeah, and then the first thing is, okay, I want to do this, but I want to do this right. What do I need? I need to get educated properly. And then I left. I remember calling my mom, like, Mom, you know, I found a school, I'm going to pay my fees next week. Yeah, I'll be gone for a year. Like, that was literally the conversation.
Wow.
And I went for a year. I studied and I came back and I started just doing stuff.
Amazing. So we just saw pictures of the Isio Van Elmer Fashion Cafe at the Oriental Hotel, which you designed.
Yes.
So that's it there. Give me a few of the other names of places that you designed.
Oh my God. The Mose Beauty Studio. This is a B Daisy.
Okay.
It's a hair store in Lekki Phase 1.
That is beautiful. It looks like a Barbie dream house. My
goodness.
She,
her brand, and I always ask one of my clients, what are your colors? What are your logo? Because I get from the logo tells me a lot, who you are, what your brand values are, and I try to create a space out of just that little symbol. So her logo was very pink and different shades of pink. This is Travai. This is a lingerie store.
Okay.
Also in Lekki Phase 1.
Very clean lines.
Very clean, like
so you want
very
the lingerie
geometric.
to speak for you.
She's very clean, very geometric, and this store we did the whole store in 3 months, and then she's like, oh, I found another place. The launch is in 2 weeks. Can we redo the whole store in 10 days? 2 weeks? 10 days.
My goodness.
It was crazy. So we had to excavate the whole site and build from scratch.
Wow.
Yeah, in 2 weeks. This is an apartment in VGC. This is a radio station lobby. It's quite a lot. Mose store, my extensions, hair salon, that's done. It's difficult to remember. This is Oriental Hotel, the new wing.
Wow, so you designed the rooms at the Oriental Hotel? Yes. My goodness. So do we get any freebies if we go and check in there?
Yes. Just tell them you're from Isio. They'll give you a good discount.
So how do you measure the success of your interior architecture company?
I don't even think we're anywhere yet, to be honest, because I've never want to dwell on what I've done. And perhaps that's why it seems like I've done a lot, because I don't even remember. I never want to dwell on what we've done. I want to do so much more that I have to take a moment to, like, okay, you guys are not that bad, but I don't see it. I want to do more, I want to do more, I want to do more. It's other people who tell me, you guys are actually not bad. I'm like, yeah, but we've not done that one yet.
We haven't designed the White House yet. We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. Like, for me, it's always like that. We're not there. We haven't done much. I measure the success. I think my staff's happiness. My staff, when they're happy, then I think I'm doing a good job.
That is amazing. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so talk to me about some of the challenges that you have faced as an entrepreneur living in Lagos, Nigeria, trying to build a business here, or businesses, actually.
Human resources. The people. People don't generally share your values. As an entrepreneur, you see that firsthand, especially in my business where and because I'm doing the more technical parts of design, I'm doing the more technical, we're doing lots of renovations, I'm working with like real indigenous people. The people just don't share your values. I mean, you're talking to a welder, carpenter, so even a company you run, they just don't share that. And you learn very, very quickly that whatever you learned in school is just what you learned in school. The reality of doing business here in Nigeria, it's completely different. You have to run your company like a company. I try to do that. It might be uncomfortable for lots of people who are not used to that kind of structure.
Right.
Even from your partners to your vendors. They're like, why is this woman stressing us?
Why is she stressing us out, Jerry?
What does she want? She should be straight. I'm like, it's not straight. You know, they just don't get that.
Right.
Workers can be a problem because people generally don't, again, have this right work ethics. People think that just because they went to school and they have a degree, it entitles them to a great life. It doesn't work like that.
Without putting in the actual work that's needed behind the scenes.
Exactly. You know, and I have people come to my firm and want to work with me, but they're seeing me as 17 years after I started my journey. You weren't there when I put in all the work 15, 17 years ago, but they don't have any experience. And then I remember asking one, he's like, oh, you know, you have to hire me. I did this. I'm like,
have to hire you?
No.
Wow.
And he's like, oh, you know, I graduated with a 2. Well, I'm like, yeah. So, and then he says, so I asked him, how much would you like to earn? Like, yeah, 300,000. I said, what are you giving me back in return? I'm a hard worker. I'm like, everybody works at.
Right.
It doesn't cut it. You have to do more. And they just don't get that. In the beginning, you can't be in it for the money, especially in a business like ours, because it's hard. It's really, really hard to be a designer. You know, it's not pleasant at all. The only nice thing are those beautiful pictures when it's done.
Yeah.
The process of creation is hard. You have to go to the markets, you have to go there, and people expect that, oh, because, you know, she's a model. But I went Tamushi and priced mine. I will price it down to the last kobo. You have to know how to do that because, again, as a business owner, if you don't know that, either the people working with you or the people you trust to help you create, they will just... You use it to wipe the floor, and then you won't have a business anymore because you don't know these things. So, yeah, that's
some of the challenges. Okay, so we're running out of time, and we are going to focus on the challenges of entrepreneurship a little bit later during our take. But let's talk quickly about your artwork, because we know that you're very creative and you express yourself visually, dramatically, theatrically, everywhere. So let's take a look at some of your pieces of art, and you can talk me through them. Where did the inspiration for these pieces come from?
I did this when I was in university. This was 9 years ago. Oh my God, I was in university 9 years ago. This was 9 years ago, and I remember my art teacher at the time is like, oh, create something nice. And, oh, okay. And we were done in a few minutes. This reminded me of the women from my tribe when they're dancing for, you know, and one is dancing to go meet the others, and they group them. So it was like that. This was done with a knife. I love painting with knives.
You painted that with a knife?
With a knife, yes. Wow. I really like painting with knives. And it was a quick landscape. I remember I went to National Theatre, and okay, paint from here to here. I'm like, okay, no problem. This was done in less...
That is my favorite piece from
This piece was done in less than 20 minutes.
What?
Yes, and it actually is one of my favorites. And I got a title, thank you, in school, paint Isio, because I studied visual arts. My first degree is in painting. I'm like, okay, Isio, I don't like to waste that. Oh yeah, bring brush. And I did that. Oh, okay, that's actually kind of cute.
Fantastic. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so for those of our viewers that want to keep up to date with you, who want to purchase some art, who want to, you know, design their interiors, how can they do so via social media?
My personal page is Isio de la Vega, no spacing, no nothing. And then the business page is IDDS Interiors, that's IDDS, then Interiors. It has all our contact details, it has our numbers and everything, so you can reach us on that one.
And we've got your website up on screen as well.
Yes.
Fantastic stuff. Thank you so much, Isio. I'll see you later on in the show.
Definitely. Thank you, Keturah.
That's all from Isio for now, as it's time now for a short break on the morning show. But when we return, I'll be speaking with a PR consultant with all the savoir-faire that you'll need to know about to build best practices within your business. Don't go away.